of investors for investors. We have always remembered that it's not what you make, is what you keep. That's what all investors deep down really know. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. This presentation is for educational purposes only. American IRA, headquartered in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is a neutral third-party administrator on behalf of the custodian New Vision Trust Company, a state-chartered trust company based in South Dakota also, and does not offer investment advice or endorsements. We are not responsible for statements made by others, and references to we and us refer to American IRA only. We encourage you to do your own due diligence and consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decisions. Hi, well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us again on another installment of the IRA Cafe, powered by American IRA. I'm your host today, Kyle Moody. I'm part of the business development team, and it's good to get together with everyone once again. For everyone here on the East Coast, everyone on the West Coast, starting their day a little earlier than us right now, and everyone in between, welcome. And it seems like it was just yesterday or a couple of days, but it was actually a couple of weeks ago when we said we would be missing this past week due to taking a day off, as it was Thanksgiving Eve. If anyone has been traveling, or if you're still on travel and watching us, we hope that you did have safe travels. We hope that you're having a great time still, if you are still away. And if you are back, well, welcome back to wherever home might be for you. We're back in our office after taking a couple of days off. It was good to always get a little bit of rest, some family time, though how much of it was really rest for everybody? Did you jump in those Black Friday lines? Was it even Black? Is it even Black Friday anymore? It seems like it's Gray Thursday, extra Black Thursday. Stores don't even close. It's like they're open the whole time on Thanksgiving. So I was not in those lines, by the way. I don't do the Friday shopping. But now it's time for a new holiday, right? Christmas is right around the corner. It is less than a month away. Has everybody got their Christmas shopping finished? Have you even gotten it started yet? You know, there was a good stat that came out this morning. Artificial trees versus real trees. Which category are any or all of you in? Believe it or not, 83% of Christmas trees this year are going to be, drumroll please, artificial. That's right. Whether that's going to be from some of the hard-hit areas where our office area was that got affected by Hurricane Helene. Folks wanting to put up the big money, but have that last them a few years and not do the trees year after year. That expense, who knows? 83%. There we go. You're going to hear me calling this guy's name today a couple of times. Colden is my man behind the scenes that I couldn't do it without him. And this is one of the little things why right here. He knows what I'm thinking, even if I don't know that I'm thinking it myself. And
we are here and rolling today, Kyle.
Well, there it is. There it is. There's his voice. Reason why this has started a little different with you just seeing me a little bit longer. You're going to see me the entire time. Our guest that we had scheduled for today, due to some unforeseen, untimely circumstances, had to take time away and could not join us. And so we just hope that all is well on that end. And so hopefully get her back in the future when things work out a little bit better for her. But you've got Colden and I today because, as they always say, the show must go on. And so for those of you that could make it, just have some information we want to share on self-directed IRAs and specifically working with American IRA. The things that I normally get asked or that I like folks to know on a phone call. Sometimes those calls get a little short if somebody's in the car, if they have to hop to a meeting themselves, and then we have to kind of play some catch up. on just some really important things you want to know when opening up an account. And we will get that to that here shortly. Colton's going to be doing me a favor and putting up some talking points on that. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that we go ahead and give the cut to what's coming up next week. On the 10th, we're going to be joined again by Keith Blackboard, who's going to be bringing in another installment from his tax advisor information brain. I mean, brain overload on what you need to know to get ready for the end of the year. And then, of course, this is also going to be, I want to say it's the second of 4 or 5 installments we have from him about what you need to know year end. And then, of course, he will be joining us throughout the first couple of 3 months next year in 2026. To get you ready for tax time on that. So that is Keith Blackboard with Discounted Rollovers and Financial Journey. He always brings a great program, a wealth of information. So make sure that you put that one down on your calendar to join us next week for that, and don't miss it. But this week, I wanted to go ahead and give you some information. So glad we could do this just kind of on the fly here. And these are just some things that you need to know. Whether you're a first-time caller whether you have been referred to us and you know everything there is to know about self-direction, whether you are a seasoned investor or whether, again, you're brand new to this, working with American IRA, we're one of the companies out there going to give you some information that is germane to us, but things that you want to know before you're getting that account set up. These are some really good tips for you to have. Some of it are things that we have to adhere to, in the rules and regulations of the IRS. But then it's also good timeline information for you to have. All too often, folks will call me and they will already have a pocket deal out there, or a pending investment that's out there, an off-market deal, and they're calling me and they need funds quickly. Where we're one of the fastest in the industry to turn the transaction, it takes a little bit of time to get to that transaction phase. So I wanted to just give you some information here. Colton did a good job of putting together some things for me that we can share with you. So one of the things we talk about is, really how much time, how long. One of the questions I get is, Kyle, how long until I can make the investment? So I say, well, in short, from the time of this phone call, and really, let's say you call me right after this presentation, pretend like this presentation is a phone call with me. From the time of this phone call or this presentation, I let folks know, plan on at least about 30 days to where you can make an investment. Okay, that's the short answer. Now, what we're getting ready to go through is really the breakdown of what that is. Okay. One of those first things that you just saw in there, if you want to go back to that, Colton, there is the 7-day right of rescission period. Now, a lot of folks won't tell you about this, but it actually is something that is a regulation of the IRS that when an account is opened, okay, and on the opening of it, we're not even getting to the transaction phase yet, but when an account is open, there's a 7-day right of rescission period on that. So it's when everything goes quiet. Okay, it's a blackout period, if you will, to where any funds that you have put forth in the opening of the account could be refunded back without any penalty. But that also means that no transactions can take place until that 8th day. Okay, now the very next thing that people hear me say is, well, that's really a moot point, because more than likely 9.5 times out of 10, we're not going to have your money anyway. And by that, what I mean is most times people are going to be bringing funds in from another plan that they might already have. Now, whether that's going to be a rollover from a old 401k, or whether that is going to be a transfer from a current IRA or Roth that they may have, it can actually take more time than you can imagine to get things over to us. I think sometimes people will say, Well, Kyle's just trying to rush me into getting this account open so that he can just get another account open. And I tell folks, hey, look, this is not a sales tactic, and it is not a Jedi mind trick. It is just me over 9 years of knowing how the industry works and getting the money moved, that it really is for your benefit. If you are looking to get an investment property in your portfolio, you know that you need to close on that, say, anywhere between the next 30 to 45 days. You need to get your account opened as quickly as possible because it's that funding. We have seen funds that outbound custodians will take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to get those monies to us. And therefore, you can't start your process and have our staff going to this next level, generating all the paper, having you sign all these things with funds that aren't even in. And think about it, when you make an offer on a property, what are some of those things that you need to have up front? Some earnest money, maybe, due diligence funds. Because remember, anything that you know about a real estate investment, a real estate purchase, is all going to be the same in a self-directed IRA, the offer to purchase and contract. Any consideration fees on there could be called in for the purchase of that property, that EMD, the due diligence and everything. It all must come from the retirement account, especially if the account is going to be funding the deal 100%. Now, because of that, you can't go forward with any of the transactions without the money being in the account, because you can't have the funds come, say, from you personally and then just get that money back. And it doesn't work that way. If the account is going to be funding a deal 100%, then all of those funds need to come from the retirement account from the very beginning. So keep that in mind. Talk to your, and also remember, any funds that come in, it's got to be cash only. When we take funds in, it can only be cash. We can't take in any public stock or anything and then liquidate that on our end. That all needs to be done before you get that over to us. Talk to your custodian and see if they require a medallion stamp guarantee. Okay. Some people may just call it the medallion stamp. Find out if they need that. That is another thing that can cost you time in getting the funds over to us. If it's going to be a rollover, well, those are going to happen generally a little quicker than transfers. Your outbound custodian is going to be the one that's going to facilitate that, where on the transfer, after your account is opened and during the processing time, our team is going to make sure that you have the transfer paperwork that you are going to fill out. And you got to actually scan that one and get it back into us, because these days we still need the wet signature, because your outbound custodian needs that wet signature before they move the funds. So anything on our application that's online, anything on any of that paperwork, you want to make sure that all addresses, all signatures, dates, that everything is correct, that everything is the same. If anything is typed in, no typos of anything like this will delay your process. Okay. And so for us here at American IRA, we are all about wanting to make sure that everything is as streamlined for you as possible. Just keeping in mind that a lot of it is predicated on your activity as well. There's things that our team will send things back. We need things back from you. And so you want to get on the ball and get that stuff back to us. So I always tell folks, if you know that this is going to be something that you want to use in the future, it does not hurt you to go ahead and get your account set up with American IRA. Hey, keeping in mind, couple things out there that people really like about American IRA. Number one, we absolutely do not charge any annual fees on cash only IRAs. Okay. So if you haven't asked us to do anything yet, or if we're not holding any kind of asset, or if you haven't made the investment, we are not going to charge you your annual fee until the day that you ask us to move the funds on your behalf. There's other companies out there, the minute you turn in your application, they're going to charge you. Now, whether they prorate that annual fee or not doesn't matter. They're still charging you for work they haven't done yet. You haven't even done anything. You may not even found the investment that you're looking for. Your annual fee with American IRA does not start until your first movement of funds, whatever that may be. And then once that happens, remember that constitutes your anniversary date with us. And every year on that date is when you would be assessed your annual fee on that. And also remember too, no matter how much your account grows in value from what you did to grow that portfolio, we didn't do that. We're not fiduciaries. We didn't manage that portfolio. We didn't provide the property or the borrower of how you were going to move your money to invest. You did every single bit of that. And coming from a team that of investors for investors, we have always remembered that it's not what you make, is what you keep. That's what all investors deep down really know. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And because of that, American IRA does not increase your annual fee based on the growth of your portfolio. So back on this, let's review that really quickly. Plan on at least 1 month before closing if you don't have an account yet. That's going to take care of that right of rescission period. Getting the funds in from your current custodian. Now, folks say, well, how long is it going to take me to get the money in? Well, you have some options there. If they send a check in, or if you send a check in, that's going to have to season for 7 banking days. You can wire it in. Sure, there's a wiring fee, $30 in or out for our wires, but the money is ready to go the next business day, okay? And then when you get a chance to start working with your transaction coordinator, now this is fantastic as well. You get to call into our main number and say you're getting ready to start your transaction. You're already going to have a transaction coordinator that is already assigned to you, and that is the person that you get to work with each time with our company, okay? At no extra cost. There are companies out there that they'll give you that dedicated individual, and they're going to charge you a very high amount for that go-to person. Here at American IRA, it's all included in your annual fee of just $285 a year. $285 a year, $95 per transaction. If you want to do a pay-as-you-go on our basic account, $165 more, $450 gets you unlimited transactions with no $95 transaction fees on that one. And then just think about it. You do multiple deals a year, you pay your $450 plus your nominal processing fees on that first one. Every other transaction you do for the remainder of that 364 days, however you want to look at it, every deal you do from there on out, you're only paying the processing fees. So it's been that way for 21 years. Good stuff. And those fees have not increased, like I said. So you get your own transaction coordinator. This is a person who will have your file there. Oh, and by the way, guess what? You do the next transaction, you get to work with the same person. How about that? Have you ever been on the phone with a big company? Whether we're talking, one of the cell companies, a satellite company, anything like this. How about everything is online, just push button on your TV these days. You try to get a person on the phone. Where are they? Who are they? With American IRA, you don't have to worry about that. You hop off the phone with your transaction coordinator, or quite honestly, anybody that you're speaking with in our company. You go, oh, you know what? I forgot to ask a question. Holy cow. If that was any other company, you'd never get the same person back on the phone if you got them to pick up at all. Well, at American IRA, not only do we pick up the phone, that's one of the things that we're known for. It is not a call center and it is not a phone tree. It is us answering the phone. But when you get to ask for your transaction specialist, you get to speak with them. You might have to leave a voicemail. Yours isn't the only file they're working on, but they are going to call you back. And you also know who you're going to be emailing as well. One of the things that's important to know about as well is for folks who are doing certain transactions. And on this, just know that everything on the inside of your IRA that you want to invest in, the majority of it can be held on the inside of your IRA. There's only a couple things out there that we can't hold directly. Now, whether that's going to be anything in the crypto world, Bitcoin, if you will, livestock. You want to buy the pigs, the pig farm? Hey, just the farm, that can be inside of your Roth. You want just the pigs? Okay, well that one's going to mean that you got to hold that in an IRA owned LLC. Street term on that one is the checkbook IRA. Well, you're in luck because our sister company, Turnkey IRA, we can make sure that you are taken care of on both the IRA and on the IRA owned LLC. Okay. Keep in mind that's going to be an added layer, and it may take a little longer than that 30 days for you to start doing the investment. But Colton, if you will put up the graphic on this is important for folks to see here on the IRA owned LLC and the flow of it. I'll have folks that will call me over the years and they'll say, Kyle, I need to hurry up and get my IRA put together because I've gotten an LLC established. And so I need to get my IRA on the inside of it or have my IRA be the owner of it. And at that point, we've already got the cart before the horse. Okay. So we need to go ahead and straighten everything up. So this is some important information. If you remember nothing else from our presentation today, keep this in mind. Yes, American IRA is your go-to for anything self-directed IRAs, whether that's going to be a traditional, a Roth, spousal, anything that is going to be solo 401k for the entrepreneurs, anything that is going to be employer-based, the SEPs, the simples. Okay, if it's a retirement account, we have the self-directed version of it. Okay, that's the given. For the folks who either want or need that added layer of the LLC, we've got you covered on that as well. But here is the flow. Number one, you got to have the account established first. Get the IRA opened and get that IRA funded, because here is point two to the LLC. The LLC must be funded by the retirement account. Okay, let me say that again. The LLC must be funded by the retirement account. And why? Because that is actually the asset that American IRA is going to be holding. On the inside of that LLC, you may have a couple of houses, some notes, precious metals, all of it. Some of it or all of it. We're not going to be showing that we're holding the houses and the notes. From our perspective, all we're going to show is that we own, or that we're holding the LLC. You're doing all the other investing the remainder of the time from the LLC. We're not going to be privy to your activity on that. Okay. So it's the asset that's being created, and therefore it must be paid for from the retirement account funds. That's also the state filing fees as well. Our rep for Turnkey, wonderful. She'll get everything all set up from the operating agreement, the EIN, double checking the name with the Secretary of State, everything. Okay. And then love for you to be able to call me on that. We can discuss those fees, the setup of the account on that. We'll make sure that you have my information where you can reach me a little bit later on this. Once the LLC, and it's going to take, by the way, probably a couple weeks for that LLC as well. And from what I understand, it is waiting for that EIN to come back on that. Keep in mind that a lot of these things that you hear me talking about, when it's the delay of things or that length of time, that is all outside sources, vendors, third parties that we can't control their timeline. You can only control what you can control. So if this is something that you just know that you want to get at least established before the end of the year, love to be able to have you on the phone with me today. And we can even take this presentation a little bit more in depth, because everybody's scenario is different, right? So we'll make sure you have my contact information on that. But you're looking at 30 plus days on an account setup, the funding, the LLC creation, and then the transaction is when you direct us to move the money from the retirement account into that LLC. Then once everything is in that LLC's business bank account, and remember, it's a business bank account set up at the banking institution of your choice. We're not one that dictates the states or the banks. This is something where American IRA takes self-direction to the nth degree. All right. We allow our folks to have their LLCs in the state of their choice and the banking institution of their choice as well. So as long as you are letting our team know exactly what you're looking to do and who you're doing it with, and everything is set up accordingly, then we can get all the paperwork crafted and ready for you for read and approved dates and so on and so forth. So any questions, always make sure that you're calling in to our team. You've got everything from client services, your transaction specialist. If you're new to this and you don't have an account yet, you've got access to myself and the sales team. We've got wonderful sales assistant that can assist you as well, and we're here ready to serve you. If it is something that you were looking to get set up before the end of the year, don't wait until the very end of the year, as there's going to be a lot of folks, as there always is, that we are taking care of and processing. And so if it's something that you need, go ahead and get in line now. So let's take a look at that again. So just before you get started, just some great things that you need to know. The 7-day right of rescission period. Okay. You can't make the investment until the 8th day. That's not an American IRA thing. That's an IRS thing. The timeline for the funds to arrive. Rollovers are going to get to us a little quicker than transfers, but I always tell folks, hey, 2 to 3 weeks on everything. And then depending on how you want the funds to come in, whether it's going to be a check or a wire, keep that in mind as well. Wires ready to go the next business day. The checks are going to have to season for 7 banking days. Plan a month on that. All of those things together, plus getting your transaction paperwork lined up. If you've already got your account set up with us, fantastic. You turn in a complete and correct investment kit, direction of investment letter. You'll hear some people say we're turning those deals within 4 days, and that's still one of the fastest in the industry on that. Okay. You get your own transaction coordinator. Keep that in mind as well. You know who you're going to be working with, not just every time that you need to make a phone call in on that one transaction, but every deal after that as well. And if that person is out sick, if they're on vacation, if for some reason they're not in, guess what? The team is exactly what that is. Everybody knows what's going on, and everybody has access to the file in case they need to jump in and help out. So that's some good things on there. If you're going the route of the LLC, keep in mind that that is another added layer to it, added cost, but the fact that you can have all of it under the American IRA umbrella for your self-directed needs. So I don't know if we have any questions that are coming in, or if this was just some good information for everybody to have. We do have somebody here. What is the ETA to just set up the account? Hey, great question. Again, predicated on the individual. So somebody can fill out their application in a matter of minutes. It is now on our website. Open a new account on that. We have folks standing by that can assist you if you need that added help in going through all the steps. So you can fill out that application in a matter of minutes. Let me talk about that application for a second. There's 3 things that are going to help you get this thing done quicker. And here's what you need at the ready. You want your driver's license. You want your credit card. You want your most recent custodial statement from your outbound custodian. Okay. You have those things at the ready. You're going to be able to sail through your application. We're going to be processing that in just a few days for you. So you should be able to have that account open within a few days. There are multiple layers of compliance that the application will go through. The cleaner you submit the application, and if there's anything else needed on that application that our team reaches back out, the faster that you get back to us, the faster that we're getting the account open. So great question there, Carter. Greatly appreciate it.
Kyle, I'll jump in. That's I think that's Mr. Wilcoxon, who's going to be joining us as well.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, that's Carter's coming up, I want to say, in a couple of weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks.
Is that right? Yeah. Had a great podcast recording with him as well. So I'm really looking forward to the presentation he's bringing. Little plug there, folks. You don't want to miss that one. Carter's got an amazing presentation, amazing product. Can't wait to hear him bring that. Javier, I'm going to leave this to your CPA because great question here. If I own property in different states, can I have one LLC to own all properties? Here's what I will tell you. LLCs can hold multiple assets, okay? Multiple asset classes. You'll want to talk to your tax professional depending on where the different business might be, different states where you might be conducting the business. All right. So as you all remember from the bumper that we have out there, and I'll say it here too, certain questions I might get today, certain questions I'll get anytime. I'm not permitted to give any tax, legal, or financial suggestions, advice, or opinions on anything. But on certain things, if it looks like I could answer something, even if I know the answer to it, LLC, the setup of it, where something's going to be done, that's going to be a little bit more legal. You might have some tax questions on that as well. Javier, make sure you speak to your tax or legal professional on that. Okay, great question though. Let's take a look here on some things. Colden, am I missing anything that we talked about in the past that I haven't covered? What's some things out there that we can make sure that folks understand and know?
Well, I would say let's clarify this really quickly, just because I know last time we were at a conference, we got some questions on this.
Okay.
If you trying to get through the end of the year and you just want to open up your own LLC in your name, you would be a disqualified entity, and there is no way you can transfer that LLC into a self-directed IRA once you've opened it up in your name. Correct?
Right. So, folks, what you see here, what Colden is really alluding to is if the account holder were to open up the LLC first and then think that they are going to put that inside of the self-directed IRA, you cannot do that. And look, this is something that I have happen multiple times a year over the 9 years that I've been doing this, where folks will say, hey, listen, I've already got an LLC. Can I just do my business in that and have the IRA be the single member? The answer is no on two fronts. Number one, as Colden said, you used your personal funds to create that LLC. You may have even set it up yourself, like on LegalZoom or something like this, of which you can't do. That kind of crosses that line of self-directing and sweat equity on that. You paid for it with personal funds when, remember, it can only be paid for from monies from the retirement account, and more than likely it's going to be in your personal name. The LLC, when correctly done, the single member to that is not going to be you as the individual. It's going to be your retirement account. Okay. And then also must be paid for from the retirement account itself. Another way to answer this question is that's an asset that existed prior to the establishment of the retirement account. Okay. Just like somebody may have, I get this question a lot. Let's say that it's not the LLC, but as another illustration here, I get the question of, hey, Kyle, I've had this investment property for just a couple of years. Can I open up my self-directed account and put this property inside the retirement account? No. Same thing. If you've got that LLC that has been established at any point prior to the setup of the retirement account, it cannot be absorbed, if you will, up into the IRA. Always remember IRA first, funding of the IRA, and then any asset, whether it's going to be a house, whether it's going to be a note to a borrower, whether it's going to be the precious metals or the LLC itself, then that is the next step, getting those things created and then getting them funded. Thanks, Colden, for bringing that to my attention.
I can share one more thing.
Oh, sure,
Totally
yeah.
not necessarily LLC related, but I'll throw this up here just because I know, Kyle, you and I were talking about this. IRS has released new contribution limits for 2026. So that means that every retirement account that you hold in self-directed as well is going up in 2026, how much you can contribute per year.
Yeah, folks, if you've got your phones handy, go ahead and take a picture of that right there. This is going to be something that we're making sure that we have in everybody's hands. So this is fantastic information right here. I always joke that it takes me until about August to get the numbers memorized because we say it so many times what the numbers are throughout the year. And it's like when people used to write checks, does anybody do that anymore? And they would, or, on college papers or whatever, who's going to be in January or February and be writing 2025 still on their stuff. So it's just the same thing here, trying to talk about the 2026 contribution limits on this. So snap a picture of that right there if you want to get ahead of the game on that. Colton, thanks for popping that up. This is one of these times where we always like folks, we always want to bring all the information to you that we want our clients or any of our listeners out there to have. Let's see, what do we have here? Jason, this actually might be something here, and Brent, thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate that. Let's jump on a call. We're going to make sure here shortly that you have my direct information. Oh, there we go. If you'd like, for this one especially, it looks like it might take a little bit of some extra time. Again, this is one of these folks here, or one of these situations that I can't give any tax, legal, or financial advice, suggestions, or opinions, but we can always look at the scenarios, the circumstances, and find out how the accounts might work best for you. So probably the best thing is there, Jason, go ahead and you and Brent send me an email, Kyle@AmericanIRA.com. For those of you who might be driving and can't see the screen there, that is my email where you can reach me directly, Kyle, Kyle, @AmericanIRA.com. And you can also call me directly, 828-412-8123. And we'll be able to help you with your scenarios and see which retirement account you might like to establish and be moving on with your investing from there. But thanks for that. Look forward to speaking with you guys. Colton, glad we could put this together. Again, we reach out to Miki and let her know that sorry for the scenario that took her away from us this week. Hope all's well on her end, and look forward to rescheduling that sometime in the near future. We got a great menu of topics coming up in the next couple of months. And so encourage you all to stay tuned with us. Join us each week for the live webinars. Also out there, any of the information, whether it's self-directed or just the education that you want to get, you've always been able to go to our website, AmericanIRA.com. Scroll through there. Check anything out that you'd like to learn more about. Whatever your social media platforms are, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, find us, like us on that. Colton does a really good job of keeping everything updated, and you can see some of the videos, some of the clips that he has up there. If YouTube is your thing, look us up on YouTube. He's already got it there. Subscribe. And I don't know how he does some of these things where he's got pictures of me and holding stuff, and that's really something. He is our AI guy, and puts together some really good stuff.
We make sure the thumbnails are, if not informative, at least entertaining.
Folks, he spends a lot of time doing what he does, and we greatly, greatly appreciate it. And you know what? And it's not just Colton. We're the front end. There are a lot of people behind the scenes that if you're not working a deal, or if you have spoken to your transaction specialist, you've at least gotten to hear their voices, seen the fruits of their labor working with you over the years. There's other people, you won't talk to them, but they put in an immense amount of time to make sure that everything is working as it should. And I would be remiss, and I always do give them the credit that not everybody's on the camera here. A lot of them don't want to be on the camera. So they leave that to me. And trust me when I say there's a lot of the things that they do I wouldn't want to do either. But what that all constitutes is everybody has their strengths, and it all brings us together to be a great team to provide you, quite honestly, what I consider the best product in the industry. And we really do appreciate being your go-to source for your self-directed needs. So for everyone here at American IRA, I'm Kyle Moody. We look forward to seeing you next week and the week after that, leading up to Christmas, and then on into 2026. So thanks for joining us on another installment of the IRA Cafe, powered by American IRA. We look forward to seeing you next week.